Hey guys, it's me again, the second most popular Italian on this show, because for some reason Pio has more fans than me. You know I am the one writing him, right? Anyway, once again this intro is to waste a bit of YouTube's time because of their guidelines on language and such. Unfortunately we had to censor stuff anyway, but once again only the most egregious moments. Now, just to remind you, the video you are going to watch right now is a montage of the best and funniest moments of the Lord Destroyer series. All the episodes of the series are available in full length on our Patreon, and by the time you are watching this video, we are on episode 42. This video in particular will cover moments going from episode 9 to 12. And keep in mind that every episode goes from 1.5 to 3 hours long, and you are watching just some parts of it. If you want to see the full uncensored and unedited episodes, you just need to join our Patreon, at least on the Pio Servo level, and you get access to all of them, and be able to join them live every time we record them. We also recently landed on Twitch, and we are not only already streaming 3 days a week, but we are also frequently playing with viewers. So if you want to come by and say hi, you can find us on Twitch under the username ThePontificate. The link is in the description. See you there!
I have a question.
Ask.
Why is the video about him getting cancelled longer than the actual lore videos?
Jesus Christ! How in the Why? Why did you have to make me notice that? He gives himself more fucking attention, this fucking egomaniacal idiot, than the rest of the fucking lore. Look at only this video I think is longer.
By 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Jesus Christ. Oh no, we explained Pontius Glow in 1 hour and 22 minutes, and we still like cut out a lot of the Eisenhorn story. No, but he can explain, like, I got cancelled 11 minutes and 45. The entire story of Rylanor, 9 minutes. Okay. The oldest space marine, the greatest space wolf, which is talking obviously of Beyond the Fell Ended, 9 minutes and 58.
I mean, if he's just talking about the passing of Rylanor when he encountered Fulgrim, it's okay. But if he talks about the entire story of Rylanor, 9 minutes is not enough.
I mean, do we want to talk about the fact that it is not even 10 minutes when you're talking of Beyond the Fell Ended? Just in the months of shame, you need 10 minutes to explain what the fuck Bjorn did.
So basically any theory had to involve something extremely dangerous and dramatic that if mishandled would cause the Imperium's cheeks to be clapped. Early theories include instructions to set free the Dragon of Mars, as was done during the Randang Xenocides. This force would be apocalyptic in power and more than capable.
He pronounced decently Rangdan this time, so there has been a bit of an evolution. Decently.
Yeah, but said the Dragon of Mars, said the Void Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pio, say the word dragon.
Pio, say the
I
word
can't
dragon.
say it!
Say the
I
word
can't
dragon.
say it!
this is a little piece of humor that comes from our first lore video.
No, doesn't need to know.
No, everyone needs to know now, Pio.
No,
It is too late. Everyone needs to know. No, when we were recording, when we were recording for the first lore video about the Rangdan Xenocides and the missing primarchs, and there was the line about Pio commenting about the Void Dragon being used as a Pokemon against the Rangdans. Pio had so much difficulty saying Void Dragon correctly that we stood there an hour and a half just for that little phrase. And from there, it became the bane of Pio, the Void Dragon.
Yeah, I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I should have not said it.
To be fair, in 1 year, you improved so much.
Yeah.
I am so proud.
Another theory was that it gave instructions on how to shut down the Golden Throne, releasing the Emperor from his burden and allowing him to regenerate.
That's a very stupid fucking theory. It had the instructions on how to turn the Golden Throne off so the Emperor could regenerate. Oh, okay. Do you remember, like, the portal in the fucking throne room? The webway of humanity filled with fucking demons that is pretty much just a black hole waiting to be opened to like, engulf Terra? And even then, even if you don't consider that, do you forget that without the Golden Throne, without the Astronomicon, there is no way to travel in fucking space?
However, this turned out not to be the Terminus decree. See, shit had gotten so bad with the Great Rift and whatnot that Kaldor Drago decided it was time to open the box and see what the decree said. Here it is. The decree...
He didn't open the box. That is not the fucking lore. This is explaining what the Terminus decree is, but it never said that somebody opened the fucking Terminus decree. We are not to the end game of 40k yet.
Yeah, and even from what I've heard, not even Kaldor Drago knows what it is, knows that it exists.
Yeah. Nobody knows what it is because it is literally closed in a box. It can only be opened by the current Supreme Grand Master of the Grey Knights. The Supreme Grand Master of the Grey Knights is Kaldor Drago, and there is a little problem. Kaldor Drago is fucking stuck in the warp. So, yeah, he's not opening the box anytime soon.
He's on vacation.
It would be a celebration for the Imperium, only for them to be horrified as 1,000 Grey Knights perform a desperate deep strike into the palace. The decree literally says they would be
Deep strike in the palace.
You cannot
Deep
deep
strike
strike
in
in
the
the
fucking
fucking palace. Removing the teleportation problem. To deep strike anything, any unit on the battlefield, especially if they are fucking Terminators, and the Grey Knights have as the most common armor the Terminator armor. Like, they're the only chapter that can retrofit the entire chapter in Terminator armor. Deep striking needs a deep strike beacon to be sent down, pretty much as a torpedo. So, the entire strategy is, let's throw against the Aegis a torpedo, when the Aegis literally turns on if you are brisk walking through it, not even shooting something at it. Then, once it lands, we can teleport through the fucking void shield to the ground. Now, yes, teleportation can be attempted without the beacon, but there is a little problem with that makes it pretty risky, is that you can teleport inside fucking objects without the beacon. So, yeah, good luck stopping the Emperor when your legs are literally fused to the ground.
Some theories say that you can predict when a crusade will happen from the pizza deliveries at the Imperial Palace.
Here's a pizza with extra orc, so he can see Sanguinius.
Upon reading the Terminus decree, Kaldor Drago fucked off back to the warp for a massive shit. To be honest, I have a better version. Upon reading the Terminus decree, Kaldor Drago fucked off out of the codex. I don't want to be part of this shit.
Descriptively that there can't be is ridiculous. I hope everyone understands that. It makes sense in universe that there wouldn't be female space marines purely because the Imperium is patriarchal. Obviously, they live.
I thought he was going to say, "Oh, it makes sense in the lore," but
yeah, I was maybe hoping for a light from above that maybe makes sense in the universe.
Literally have a patriarch. Literally, they call their leaders patriarchs. Of course.
No?
What?
Who the fuck calls leaders? They're called the primarchs, not patriarchs.
Danny,
My
he
God.
is kind of correct. The Gene Stealer cults call their leaders patriarchs.
This is mystery. The 40k lore expert that plays 40k doesn't remember that they are not called patriarchs, but they're called primarchs.
I mean, he didn't even know that the female marine was actually a topic of discussion, so he really cares about it.
Not defending it, but in the lore, only men can handle whatever chemical cocktail makes them into what they are. Yeah, but they would just make a new chemical cocktail.
Why the fuck didn't we think about it? They should just make a new version of it. Pio, iPhone 13, iPhone 14. You know, there isn't any fucking decay of technology, you know, that they don't know what the fuck they are doing.
What? With that logic, why demons don't die? Just kill them. Find a way to kill them.
Why the Emperor doesn't come back? He just needs to stand up.
Because the Grey Knights are putting him back.
Those fucking Grey Knights. He keeps coming back and they keeps putting him back.
Male human and a space marine. I feel like they have a little bit more plasticity with regards to that. Or they would just make new lore, which they do constantly.
No, they don't. The very shitty lore is actually the problem.
True! Okay, that's enough. Are Space Marines trans? Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Why not?
what the fuck?
Why?
A Space Marine trans, yeah, sure, why not? Are orcs gender neutral? Yeah, sure, whatever you say, mate.
Yeah, sure. Random bullshit go every time he has to say
Random
something.
bullshit.
Your mind to travel a healthy path. When we're moving colors around, we let go of the noise. Muscle memory, creativity, focus, deep, even breathing.
I do agree, though, that...
Okay, Bob Ross.
That kind of bonehead move is this. I mean, they could have at least come up with an upgrade sprue or some new head options. I might be willing to
Please
pay for an
stop.
upgrade
I just
sprue.
noticed.
What?
His tone is always the same. Doesn't matter his emotions, and you have to write the emotions on top of the screen.
What the fuck? Okay, like the robotic voice, the way he speaks slowly and very lowly, the fact that he has to write the state of his soul while he talks about it actually reminds me from like the fucking aliens from Mass Effect that don't have facial expressions or a different tone of voice, so they have to express their emotions through words every time they start a phrase.
Princess Peach wearing pants for one scene of the Mario movie? Rage. Breathe.
Did anybody like really rage at that? Were people gooning on Princess Peach in the movie?
It's really funny that his rage is the most emotion I've ever heard in 12 minutes.
Rage.
Rage. I'm angry.
Alternative to screen time is painting models. Sometimes when I see an angry person on the internet, I think to myself, wow, that person could probably benefit from painting a mini. It does.
What an extremely specific way of feeling.
No, but I imagine this guy going to some kind to a sad person on the street. Hey, you should spend $120 on minis and paint.
Yeah, you will see. You will feel a lot better after. He sees him the next day with like a cast on his arm. What happened to you? I tried to paint a mini and I punched a wall.
That's fun and all, but if you're not careful, you'll end up taking on their burden. Through osmosis, their childish grievances may become your own.
Their childish grievances. Reminder that at the beginning of this video, he literally made an entire skit to explain that he was angry that there were no models released for this retcon. Talking about childish grievances, but yeah.
Super short TLDR this time. I know, normally I go a little bit more into it, but that's because the stuff we're going to get into today, ooh boy, because I'm just going to come out and say it. Of all the what people get wrong about X.
Oh, boys.
Imagine if you have done that in the video of the missing primarchs. The theory of today, ooh. Ooh.
The theory you're going to hear today, you won't believe your ears. Woohoo!
Space Hulk. The protagonist is a fucking psyker of the Deathwing.
Yeah, they're pseudo blanks. Then they shouldn't have fucking librarians. But let's go on.
Father, the lion, is indeed a blank, or a pseudo-blank. For those of you who don't know, blanks are notorious for being immune to pretty much all the predations of warp. But more than that,
he's showing a librarian on screen.
They are immune to the warp. Their planet was destroyed by the warp. Okay.
I mean, but even if you don't remove that, there is a librarian in this fucking artwork. You cannot be a blank and a librarian.
And that light grows. The bigger the person, the more powerful they are, the bigger and brighter the light grows. That's why psychics, for example, are very much like a floodlight. The Emperor is quite literally a lighthouse. Now that light is said to represent your soul. And it's also how demons are drawn to you. The warp is often referred to as predators. Demons are indeed predators, they prey upon the souls of the living. So, the bigger and brighter your soul is, the more likely a demon's going to find it tasty. A blank is said to have no light, or very, very, very dim, i.e., demons are not going to notice them or be attracted to them. And it's said that in regards to the pseudo-blanks of the Dark Angels, their lights are very, very dim.
If you're a blank, it doesn't mean that you have a very little light. It means that you don't have one.
Yeah, the like blanks are better described as a warp black hole. It is why when you are dealing with blanks and there are psychers around, their powers get completely fucking nullified. You don't. It is not just that you do not see them. Warp powers don't work around them. It is why the Sisters of Silence are sent on the black ships that collect the psychers from all around the Imperium for the Inquisition, the Grey Knights, the Adeptus Astra Telepathica, and whatever the fuck else uses the psychers, but and even for the Golden Throne mainly, because the black ships mainly collect the psychers that will reach the Golden Throne. But like, generally, when you are dealing with blanks, they are completely immune and can nullify the power of psychers. They're a black hole, not just not a light. But okay.
Zabriel is a pretty powerful Dark Angel Psyker, meaning he's probably on average with other Legion Psykers. He then happens to roll double sixes on his Smite, getting D6 damage instead of D3. That's a throwback to old tabletop for y'all. And he hits Corswain full in the chest with Psychic Witchfire, and Corswain is wholly unaffected. So much so that even Corswain is like, what the hell, what happened? And that then brings me on to my next point. The Emperor was able to trust all of his bad shit with the Dark Angels because one, they wouldn't be corrupted by Chaos, nor would Chaos be able to corrupt.
They wouldn't be corrupted by Chaos. Literally, Luther got corrupted by Chaos, started a civil war after the Horus Heresy had ended, and forced Lionel Johnson to deploy on his own planet with his own marines to fight him off, and that destroyed the planet. Because a huge fucking warp attack happened and the planet just broke.
I'm scared the entire video. We are just 8 minutes. I already know it will be all like the fallen.
When your half an hour argument literally gets destroyed with 2 words, you know you don't have a fucking argument to begin with, but yeah.
How'd they not destroy Caliban? Well, of course, the Caliban Knights of the Order, they did their job pretty well, but more specifically, certain little fellas who were just little guys by the name of the Watchers in the Dark. The Watchers in the Dark are basically the trump card of the Dark Angels. Now, what exactly are the Watchers in the Dark? The Watchers in the...
Let's see the bullshit Lori says, because nobody knows what the fuck the Watchers in the Dark are. All they know is that warp creatures are scared of them, but nobody knows why. Nobody knows even what the fuck they are. For all we know, they could be literally the teddy bears from the final good movie of the Star Wars trilogy, the sixth one.
Dark are essentially avatars of the anti-chaos gods. How do we know this? 2 examples.
Anti-chaos gods. Can we get a name, a page, some lore citation? What the fuck is an anti-chaos god?
And why are they still alive if these things exist?
It is surrounded by warp magics and warp energy and warp beasts, but inside of it, in the center, is a portal into the blank dimension. What is the blank dimension?
What?
To be honest,
what? The fuck is the blank dimension?
This is all the deep warp bullshit thing again.
The Watchers in the Dark. It is home to the blank gods, the exact opposite of the chaos gods. Now, it could be a multitude, it could be a pantheon of many gods, and the fact that each and every Watcher is an avatar of an individual god, but I think it's the exact opposite.
I hope I hope nobody's expecting commentary on this, because like we have dismantled it like in 50 different ways by this point. There is no null gods in 40k.
Because they are literally made of the god of anti-warp, and they're from the dimension of anti-warp, meaning that they're quite literally, like the Emperor, anathema to demons. So, to recap...
But only the Emperor...
There are 2 anathemas!
Yeah, everyone is an anathema of chaos.
It's so easy.
Yeah,
it's like...
You just need to make a course online. You will be called anathema. But he
just fused the theory of the Ambras being pieces of an old one and the theory of the Emperor that is not a theory. It's called that one. But...
Because we made a video, so it is true. You know that.
This fanfic is crazy, to be honest. So they are heretic while being blanks because they are worshipping a blank god in a blank dimension. What the fuck?
This is more contrived than a Neil Breen movie. This is incredible.
It's so easy to make a video like this. I want to start. I want to get a random topic that we don't know and just start throwing shit.
Just make bullshit about it. People will buy it.
To be honest, it's really, really funny. I like to do it, but
don't bully him too hard. He's doing a lot of stuff. He's a really great guy and I love him. But seriously, this guy is amazing. I can listen to him all day. You know what? Go on.
This guy is amazing. He lied to me and I made a video about it.
No one knows about it because they're not supposed to. Not even the Dark Angels themselves know about this. They simply have a duty to do, and they...
It's a mission so secret not even I know about it.
It finally makes so much sense to me, all these little details that didn't connect. It finally makes sense why Dark Angel's lore never is super interesting or super awesome. It finally makes sense.
The lore isn't interesting because they are blanks. everything I said as a reference to the books. None of this is fanfic. Where the fuck is the books mentioned? Like, where are the books mentioned
Where
at all?
is the Watcher of the Dark, the dwarf that orbits in the abyss of the blank dimension?
Yeah, the blank dimension. Can you mention the fucking book, please?
Blank gold.
What people get wrong about the Dark Angels proceeds to dribble a bunch of wrong stuff about Dark Angels. Cite your sources. Some guy said isn't legitimate.
Which, hey, I totally understand this. I'm afraid of change as well. It was recently revealed that the
We are not afraid of change. We are afraid of dumb fuck change. Just look at the fucking...
I'm afraid of women.
So if you didn't know, and you're new to 40k stuff, there is a percentage of that has a problem with the idea of female space marines. The other two videos hit all the talking points. I just wanted to give a summary of how I feel about it. Personally, I want to see women represented in the Space Marine Legion.
Why? Like, every time people say this, the main question I ask is always, why? Because if it is not an in-universe reason, it is an ideological reason. If it is an ideological reason, it has no place in the fucking universe.
So battle are called wenches.
What the fuck is this?
What? What?
Pio Bellissimo the Pasta Panther. Pio Bellissimo landing on Omaha Beach June 6, 1994, moments before demanding the ultimatum. But victory is al dente.
Hello, I am ArbitorIan. I talk to a camera about Warhammer. And last time I was here on IGN, I answered a load of questions from the community, novice, adept, and expert level questions about...
Spoiler, they were all novice. If you don't believe me, check episode 6. There was nothing that was hard or extremely specific in those questions.
Mutant that was created way back in the dark age of technology as a way of helping humanity guide ships through the warp. This is well before 40k or the Emperor or the Imperium. And those stable bloodlines of navigators persisted because they were necessary for space exploration. So navigators are psychic, it's just that their psychic abilities are very limited and very tightly bound to piloting a ship through the warp.
No, this thing that they are very limited to their psychic abilities. It doesn't make any sense. There are strong ones.
Yeah, and even then, they just need to open their third eye. If they open their third eye, when you look into it, you are looking directly into the warp. You die just from that.
You can die.
Yeah.
Yes, you can die just from that. In fact, in the Rogue Trader tabletop, you can achieve that ability that you can open your third eye and everyone who looks into it can die. And they have to roll to survive.
103, the Destroyer 5, says, what is the second founding? And are there more foundings or more types of foundings?
You don't need to ask an expert for this. You just need to look on the wiki.
Yes, there are, because...
Are there any more foundings? Yeah, we count all of them. There is over 20.
Each of these foundings creates a number of new Space Marine chapters, maybe only a couple, maybe 10 or 20. And those Space Marine chapters are either created from existing chapters and their reserves of gene seed, which are portioned out, or they're created from gene seed reserves that are held on Terra. When those are created, often some veteran Marines from a...
So, they are created from surplus gene seed or from surplus gene seed?
There are loads of foundings. I think the Ultima founding is the most recent, and that is the one that created Primaris Marines. That was a huge founding of chapters.
A little spoiler, Ultima comes from Latin, obviously. In Italian, we still have the word which is ultimo. It means last. So if there is another one, we are fucking rioting in front of Games Workshop HQ.
Space Marines are created by this very complex, very advanced, slightly magic process of
Stop it with the slightly fucking magic! There isn't slightly magic! It is genetics! It is made up genetics, but it is still fucking genetics!
It's not magic. It's a science, bitch.
Yes, science!
Something like the Blood Angel's bloodlust is caused by a mutation of one of their Special Astartes organs. It's the one that allows them to eat brains and get the memories of their enemies.
The fuck? Is that true?
I don't know in the specific.
I never heard that they knew, like, what organ was causing it. If they knew it, why the fuck didn't they fix it? The red torse is a genetic flaw deeply embedded into the Blood Angel's gene seed. When Sanguinius became aware of it, he felt responsible for the suffering of his sons and desperately sought out a cure while keeping it secret from the rest of the Imperium, including the Emperor himself. A warrior who had succumbed too deeply to the red thirst or black rage was sometimes executed by Sanguinius himself. The Black Rage didn't exist during the Horus Heresy.
Yes, I was about to say that. It's not the same thing, the Red Thirst and the Black Rage.
Thank you, Lexicanum. We found a Lexicanum lied during a Lord Destroyers episode. Good. I'm not counting it towards the counter, but... No, but maybe actually could. Maybe in the best of it... No, maybe in the best of it will count. The Mechanicum has observed that the Blood Angels have an overacting homophagia, and this combined with their blood rituals may have caused them to become more strongly affected by past memories than others. But that's the Black Rage. The memories thing is the Black Rage, not the Red Thirst. Others discuss the impact of Balsecandus' strange cocktail of chemical toxins and radiations, as well as past evidence of mutation among the populace. Initially, it seemed the new wave of primary space marines were able to more easily resist the Red Thirst, while showing no signs of the Black Rage at all. However, the primary marines may not be as resistant to the flow as once thought, as evidenced by the Coven incident. The hope was ultimately a false one, and primary space marines have now become members of the Death Company. Yeah, because Games Workshop had to retcon it, because the moment that they said, oh yeah, the primaries are actually immune to the curses, everyone went, okay, so we are now just playing red ultramarines. And they went, fuck, they're right, and just retconned it.
In different ways. Something like the Blood Angel's bloodlust is caused by a mutation of one of their Special Astartes.
Allegedly.
Organs. It's the one that allows them to eat brains and get the memories of their enemies. That's a little bit overactive in a lot of Blood Angels. The Space Wolves turning into wolves is never fully...
It's not a lot, it's all of them.
...explained, but is implied to be something to do with the unique genetics of Fenris, their planet. It doesn't apply to all...
Of Fenris? So Limarras having pretty much wolf
the
DNA.
Genetics of the planet.
The genetics of the planet. Yeah, Limarras having wolf DNA literally contributed nothing to the wolf.
But before the Horus Heresy, 2 primarchs were lost. And when they were lost, all records of them were erased to the level even of like psychic manipulation of the rest of the Space Marines and the primarchs, so they didn't really remember much about them.
Not all of them.
What?
Horus,
not all of them.
Yeah, Rogal Dorn had this treatment applied and then de-applied and then applied again shortly after during the Siege of Terra. But Horus remembered, and he was going to say the names. Malkador Force choked him before he could.
That has happened before. In old versions of the game, there's a guy called Ilian Nastase. Very, very old lord.
Oh.
This guy is dead for good.
Yeah, let's hear about Ilian Nastase. Let me hear lore that is not canon anymore, please. Do you know who he was, the predecessor of Varro Tigorius? Varro Tigorius was the guy that retconned Ilian Nastase.
Very, very old lore, but was the Ultramarines chief librarian and also half Eldar. That's sort of been retconned out of existence, but it has happened before.
It's retconned, please. It is retconned.
Listen, ArbitorIan, there is a very specific thing that people that talk about this fucking lore seem to not understand. If you retcon something out of the universe, it doesn't mean that at one point it existed. It means that it never fucking existed. It might have existed in real life, but by the universe, if you retcon it, it was never there. Never.
Yeah, I don't know why he said it was retconned, sort of, but why sort of? It's retconned. It doesn't exist anymore.
yeah, but it happened once. Yeah, and now it didn't.
Is that what the people of the Imperium think the Golden Throne looks like, this grand devotional temple object, isn't actually what it is. What it looks like is a horrific medical machine.
How do you know? Because it was one of the first artworks released. This answer is not an answer because he didn't prove anything. He cannot know what the Golden Throne looks like because we don't know either. Like, the depiction is showed...
the first artwork,
the depiction is showed. This one is actually the cover of a fucking book.
Yeah, part 1.
Yeah, it is part 1. So, technically, by logic, it should look like this.
Very powerful, but Necron technology is absurdly powerful. The only reason they're not using it to dominate the galaxy is that after 10,000 years of sleeping, some of it's gone a bit wrong, and most of them haven't woken up yet.
10,000 years of sleeping? Sorry?
No, it's not 10,000.
Is absurdly powerful.
What the fuck?
Reason they're not using
sleep
it to
in
dominate
30k? What the fuck?
Yeah, they went to sleep in 30k, let alone the 60 million years ago war.
The galaxy is that after 10,000 years of sleeping, some of it's gone a bit wrong, and most of them haven't woken up yet. Dark age of technology, humanity were the masters of modifying humans to do all sorts of different jobs, and that isn't really something that the Tau...
How the fuck do you know that? They made the navigators, but we don't know anything else. They made
but
the Men
that's
of
not
Iron.
actually true. Yeah, that's not true because they made machines do work for men. Humans were normal. The bioengineering stuff went when the Emperor came with the Thunder Warriors.
Why don't the Eldar ever join the greater good? Wouldn't it make sense to unite against Slaanesh?
Tau Ethereal just asked the Eldar to an Eldar Craftwall to join the greater good.
Oh wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
So there, a series of, as promised, much more difficult to answer questions full of...
No, these weren't difficult at all. 90% of these questions could literally be answered with a look on the wiki. Those that couldn't be answered with a look on the wiki, he got wrong. So yeah.
The main reason for a retcon within a fictional verse usually occurs within, say, a series of films, a television series, or a narrative that's been going on for, like I say, a very long time. And this new material wants to maybe go in a different direction, or maybe things that they've written conflict with original material that couldn't have possibly anticipated where the later material was going to go.
And that's actually a very shitty thing to do, because like if you don't have a long enough plan of production to the point that you do not account for stuff that you've done in the past, you're working in a very shitty way on something. Like if you're writing a narrative, at least know what came before when you're planning what to do next.
Most often though, a retcon is usually quite a small thing, which just amends or corrects or...
Quite a small thing. The Primaris, Belisarius Cole, the Squats, or now called the Votans, which look very fucking stupid. Grimaldus in the recent lore. Now again, the Grey Knights recruitment. They even, technically by the Grey Knights retcon that they made now, that the fact that they steal aspirants from other chapters, they technically even retconned the Psychic Awakening, which was like the main focal point of the new lore.
Now also what I will say is that I'm open to people thinking that canon and retcons are a thing in 40k. If that helps you sleep at night, knock yourself out. But before I go into my own perspective of things, let's hear some quotes from those who actually create the material and who also work to generally produce content for 40k and the Galaxy of the Imperium. Now,
the same fucking that are fucking up the entire universe, Luetin. Really? The fact they have opinions doesn't make that opinion right. If anything, it makes them the wrong fucking person for the job. Just look at Gav Thorpe. The simple fact that they have to go and retcon everything all the time because they get also so much stuff wrong shows that they are completely fucking unreliable. Why would you listen to their opinions?
Designer for Games Workshop, who said, with Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000, the notion of canon is a fallacy. Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 exist as tens of thousands of overlapping realities in the imaginations of games developers, writers, readers, and gamers. None of those interpretations is wrong.
Okay, to quote myself then, why the fuck should I buy Games Workshop books if it is literally just fan-made lore that you're selling me as a book? Then I don't have the need to read it. I can make up whatever the fuck I want, and I will be right. Just put fucking My Little Pony as an artwork in this video. It will work the same.
But those are my official go-to quotes when someone brings up the topic of canon or retcon in 40k. Now, as I...
And none of them stand up to scrutiny. None of them. Like, when you have an opinion, the main characteristic that your opinion must have to be valid is that it must stand up to scrutiny. I cannot have a way to dismantle your entire worldview by questioning it.
Could easily be changed later. We know this even from our own human history. Sometimes things which seem established when you actually dig down and learn the history, you turn out that actually it's not true at all, but it has kind of become generally accepted. And
okay,
what the fuck?
What the fuck? What is he talking about?
What the fuck is he talking? Like, okay, can we get an example of it, Luetin? There can be misinterpretation, like, for some events, but there cannot be a complete 180 of those events. Like, by the opinion he's giving, we could find out tomorrow that Alexander the Great never actually existed.
However, there are also objects, things, and so on that are not widely observed. They may have only been witnessed by a specific few or barely any other people. These are things which are not constants. They are very much open to interpretation, and so just because it's been mentioned once doesn't mean that it is then established as, be canon, like I say, if you want to use that.
And this is actually a pretty good point to make. If something is observed only once and it has happened only once, it might not be canon, like in the Emperor's Gift, the Grey Knight that was implied to have become a pariah and have become pretty much a soulless space marine and completely a null by some fucking way that we are never explained. It happened only once, then never again. So it has probably been silently retconned because, the fact you can manufacture pariahs would actually break the Imperium. But generally, yeah, if something is mentioned only once in an appendix and then never again, then okay. If stuff has been established from years, then you have a problem, Luetin.
It's comparatively rare that big events are altered in the sense of them having been seen from, say, a wrong perspective or by...
They literally retconned...
Not in 40k.
Yeah, they literally retconned every single Black Crusade that Abaddon ever made to make him useful. Just imagine that.
13 Black Crusades to take down a planet.
Yeah. And they just retconned after the fall of Cadia, every single one of them having been pretty much a victory for Abaddon because he was taking down Blackstone pylons.
This is where we come to one of the real problematic issues with 40k, which doesn't exist with most other verses, is of course the warp. The warp is a perfect device.
The warp did it. Every single reliable narrator, every single canon problem is the warp, Pio.
Warp magic.
Literal. Warp magic was interesting when it was sparingly used. By standards of 40k and Games Workshop in these days, warp magic is literally a justification to say, I know it's bullshit, but I cannot justify it.
Beyond even that, though, it is truly the final nail in the coffin when it comes to believing that there is such a thing as canon or real retcon in 40k. It should be clear to anybody that knows even the smallest amount about the world of 40k that it is a galaxy shrouded in ignorance, fogged by mistruth, misunderstandings, it's suffocating under a weight of propaganda in many instances, and it has realms and locations for events where sometimes even the laws of time and physics do not apply. It has time-traveling AI from humanity's glorious past, aliens who can seem to defy all physical law. So no one...
I have, this is all the Gav Thorpe explanation all over again. If we cannot trust anything that is being told to us, anything we read, anything that happens, anything, what the fuck is all of this? This is lore, isn't it? Are these lore videos accurate or bullshit? Because we cannot trust anything because the universe is so impossibly, diverse from ours, is so different. Then what the fuck is the point of making these videos?
So no one living in the galaxy of the 41st millennium really knows the truth of history, and for many, this means not even their own. I mean, we should not forget that this is a world where entire factions spend their time...
I don't see his point. Okay, maybe in any universe perspective you cannot know everything, but by an external universe perspective, why the fuck should we assume that everything we are learning is a lie?
Even some high-up Imperial servants like Astartes can have memories erased for incorrect contact. Take Belisarius' Call, for example. His mind has been scrubbed.
Take Belisarius' Call, for example. Please, please
God,
explain to me
dominate
how...
this guy.
Yeah, please, explain to me how the example of one of the worst fucking 40k characters ever put into a book and the biggest fucking plot device in the 40k universe after the warp is actually a good character, Luetin. I'm sure you can convince me of it. I just read The Great Work, which actually made me hate him 10 times more, but let's go on. I don't think
what's the point?
No, I don't think he's understanding that his entire argument is literally dismantling, it is dismantling the credibility of the universe. If you cannot trust something you are reading, why the fuck should you read it?
In the galaxy of 40k, we're talking about events and happenings over many thousands of years, obfuscated by who knows how many variable factors and contaminations of truth. The point that I hope is becoming clear is that things can't be canon or retcon in our true sense of what those terms mean, because things are just so unclear to begin with.
Sorry, Luetin, they
It's
can...
not so unclear.
Yeah, they cannot, they cannot be retconned or changed. Okay, why are you asking why they retconned the Terminus decree? Why did this happen? Might have been a retcon, but I might be going off on a limb here. Might be just a theory, a 40k theory.
Bias is ever present and saturates everything you're doing. I feel like all of our small biases and leanings can very easily be just dismissed as human nature. The interesting part to me when it comes to the Tau video was I had a lot of comments from people saying, oh, you should present the information objectively, why so much bias, just give us the clear info. To which I would counter with, how the hell do you do that? What I mean by that...
By saying it.
How the hell do you do that?
How the hell do you do that?
Just say...
By reading and then repeating what you are reading.
Yeah, it's not that difficult.
Because I'm dealing with a bunch of lore YouTubers that don't understand how lore works. Like, everything is explaining now about the retcons, about the stuff that changes. Either had... narrative reasons to be changed that weren't stupid, they were actually pretty big problems, like Ilian Nastas and such, or the Games Workshop is fucking incompetent at his job. Those are literally the only two explanations.
Bother actually retconning it and revising previous iterations, but beyond that, it's even more clever, because it comes down to the individual. If you read something and you think, you know what, I think that's bollocks, you don't have to believe it. You can make up some rationalization and say, that's propaganda, or, maybe that guy confused it wrong, and that's not...
I'm out of ways to express how fucking stupid this argument is. I'm sorry, Luetin, if I ever get into a montage, this will probably be included, but this entire video is giving me an aneurysm. It is contradicting itself, contradicting to a way for a business plan, contradicting narrative, contradicting writing rules, contradicting world building. Oh yeah, if there is no canon, then whatever you read, if you don't like it, you can just go, okay, then it doesn't exist. The problem is that I'm not the one deciding what exists or not. It is Games Workshop. I choose to not believe that female custodians exist because the Games Workshop has no fucking way to justify the retcon. But at the same time, they're still fucking writing them. That's the problem.
Now, I don't imagine that many people are actually going to do that, but, in truth, if you really wanted to, if something irked you that much, you could come up with some rationalization in your mind as to why that doesn't apply.
I do not need rationalization, Luetin. I have proof of why stuff doesn't work. You can rationalize something you don't like when it is the first time it happens and it has no prior lore. But if it has prior lore and now that lore has changed, you still have the prior lore to use as proof as to why it is bullshit. But Jenna, even in his own comment, I thought Games Workshop has teams of writers who lay out grand narrative. How does a series like Horus Heresy work if everyone just does whatever? Which is the main fucking point of lore canon. Yeah, there are things that are not canon. Therefore, there must be a canon, right? If I said the Emperor's identity was Gimli the dwarf, that's clearly not canon. Yeah, you can already see from my barely contained rage in the last clips that the infamous video Warhammer 40k YouTubers are a disgrace was already taking shape in my mind. It was not something I could ignore any longer. I don't regret that video at all, keep in mind. As usual, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and check out our serious lore videos. And if you want to watch the full episodes of Lore Destroyers, once again, join our Patreon. Lots of lore to learn and lots of wrong videos to correct. We also hope to see you in our chat on Twitch. If you want to see serious lore experts play Warhammer 40k games, you know where to find us. You might even end up playing with us. See you for the next lore video. Vrax is coming.